Okay, so you want to talk about ants.
We're going deep on ants.
You got it. Specifically, we're going to California, like those trails of ants you see on the sidewalk.
Right, what are those?
Right. So this guide from Simple Pest Management really breaks it down.
Okay.
Like native ants, invasive, all that good stuff.
hmm
What about California's native ants stood out to you?
Well, you've got your carpenter ants, which a lot of people get them confused with termites.
Oh yeah, nobody wants either of those.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
But carpenter ants aren't as bad. They go for the damp wood, more so like the older homes,
Okay.
that have maybe a little bit of a moisture problem.
So they're like opportunistic landlords.
Yeah, they're like slumlords, basically. And these guys can get big, too, like almost a half an inch long.
Oh wow. These aren't the little tiny sugar ants.
No, no, no.
These are big.
These are big boys, yeah.
So speaking of unique ants, the guide also mentioned velvety tree ants.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds kind of nice, velvety.
It sounds very nice, but they're actually quite aggressive, especially if you disturb their colony. And to make sure, they release this odor, it's supposed to be like rancid butter and vinegar?
That's how they protect themselves.
Yeah.
That's wild. So we've talked about some native ants, but what about the ones that weren't invited? The invasive species.
Oh, yeah, the ones that just come in and take over.
Yeah, like the guide mentioned, Argentine ants. I feel like everyone's heard of those guys. What makes them so bad?
They're aggressive. They push out the native ants. They're taking all the resources,
So they're like the bullies of the ant world.
basically, and they make these huge super colonies.
Oh no, that sounds intense.
Yeah, a whole army of ants coming for your backyard.
I don't know if I want to meet those guys. Are there any other invaders we should be aware of?
Definitely red imported fire ants. Those are another one. And they're known for swarming. They're not afraid of anything.
Yikes, that does not sound fun. Especially if you're having a picnic or something.
Right. Nobody wants that.
So what can people even do to stop an ant invasion? Like, is it even possible?
Well, a clean house is a good start. Any crumbs, food spills, that's like sending out a welcome mat for ants, especially those Argentine ants.
Oh, so that's what's attracting them.
Yeah, they love that stuff.
So just keeping things clean can make a difference.
It can actually, and it's not just inside either. Check outside your house too. Any
Yeah.
crack scaps. That's how they're getting in.
So seal up those entry points, make it like Fort Knox.
Mm,
But what about those little ant bait traps? Do those actually do anything?
they can. They can work really well, especially for like smaller infestations. So the worker ants, they take the bait back to the colony.
Oh, so it's like a little Trojan horse.
Exactly. They don't even know what hit them.
That's kind of smart.
Yeah.
What if you're dealing with like a really bad infestation, though? Are there more natural things you can do?
There are some things ants just hate, like peppermint oil, cinnamon, even just citrus peels. It might not get rid of a whole colony,
Yeah.
but it can definitely help.
So it's like a multi-pronged attack.
Wow.
Keep things clean, seal up any cracks, then maybe try some natural stuff, and if all else fails, those bait traps.
Right. And it's important to remember that every house is different. What works for one person might not work for another.
Right. So when is it time to like wave the white flag and call in the professionals?
Well, if you've tried everything yourself and it's not working, or you've got fire ants, those guys are trouble.
Yeah, they sound it.
Yeah, you probably want to call someone who knows what they're doing.
They've got the heavy duty stuff.
Exactly. Plus, they can identify exactly what kind of ant you've got going on, which helps.
Makes sense. Well, this has been fascinating. I never thought I'd be so interested in the lives of ants, even the ones I don't like very much. Any last words of wisdom?
I think the biggest thing is just realizing not all ants are the enemy. Some of them are actually helpful to have around, and some are just trying to get by like the rest of us.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Hmm.
We can all coexist peacefully.
Maybe.
So next time you see an ant, take a second to appreciate it. Unless it's after your picnic basket,
Right.
then all bets are off.
Yeah. Exactly. And for anyone in California, definitely check out that guide from Simple Pest Management. It's got tons of good info on identifying ants and how to deal with them.
Perfect knowledge is power, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of ants. We'll see you next time.